Hello.
Hello, everybody. This is Veronica from Human Design Journey, and I have a very interesting and special guest tonight, Sabina. Hi, how are you?
Hello. I am good. I am fresh because I have my coffee.
Yeah, it's morning with you, evening with me. So Sabina
hmm
is in the United States. Where exactly are you?
I'm in Arizona.
Arizona. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that movie, Arizona. Um, so can you tell us something about you and to present you to my humble audience? The purpose of our interview is to show the real person behind the body graph and just to meet you with Sabina because I think she's wonderful and I think she can share interesting stuff with you guys. So, Sabina, can you tell me where are you originally from?
So I was born in India. So I'm an Indian born American.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, I grew up over there and um how we would now say, like now into the education, I would say through the correct interactions, I got married to the correct person for me. And within a month or so, we were out here in the United States. And
Uh-huh.
my open identity center became comfortable. Like, oh, I like this place. This feels healthy for me as
Uh-huh.
compared to where I grew up, where I was always, the odd one out. But that's a story for later.
Uh-huh. Okay. So you came with your husband to America.
hmm
Okay, okay, that's nice. And when did you meet human design?
I met human design. This is such a cliched statement which I will make now. I met human design just when the COVID thing started, in January 2020. And
Okay.
then the real story comes out is that I was 3 days after my birthday, I was at the gym and I was, working out on the, what was that? An elliptical machine. And I'm going, literally exercising and falling asleep at the same time. And my husband, he's right next to me and he's like, don't sleep, you will fall, you will get hurt. Get down, just go and sit. He's always recommended that to me, like, don't take a break, go take a break. Our mind does not want to. And I was like, no, you know what? I will watch something interesting. And I started watching an astrologer lady who is from Bulgaria.
Oh.
Okay. And she was introducing an actual certified human design, living your design guide. And
hmm
I started listening to her. And this transmission is so potent. I was like, oh, my husband just now asked me to go take a break. Maybe I should take a break. You know, got off the machine, sat down in a place where no one was around me for a change because I was in a gym. Checked my body graph from the IHDS website. Like, oh, I'm a projector. And then the flood of misinformation started. But that's, you know, something which we all go through. And
hmm
then when I have no clue how, but my husband is a, the right angle cross of consciousness. And uh, he just pointed out to me with all the misinformation that I was coming across that, you know what, this is something which you should invest in for your own self. So maybe, go try out show me the website, the real thing. And I'm like, okay, this is IHDS. I think so. They are the real deal. So we go on that. And my husband says, oh, they have something known as living your design. Is the most foundational thing. Maybe you will, you know, and it was like his invitation. I joined that, and my world changed.
Mm-hmm.
Because first and foremost thing, no false information. And
Yeah.
secondly, although I'm a projector, getting those answers is what we, our humanity, our human tendency wants. We are in that cross of planning, right, with the Maya hanging back there. Like, hey, the inner knowing needs to be there, something unknowable about myself, about the universe. Why am I here? What the heck is wrong with me? All of those kinds of things. So
Yeah.
that's just got me started on this path.
That was so nice for him to. He's a generator or also.
He's a manifesting generator,
Uh-huh.
split definition.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so
So he so nicely correct you, invited you into, and apparently you are very enthusiastic because you continued, and
mhm.
together we had the Living Your Design Guide certification program. So what does your husband think about that? that it grew into a passion.
The very beautiful thing about this journey was he being that sacral being. You know how it feels. It's like when you feel aligned to your path, to what you're responding. And he's an emotional authority. So with his clarity, he observes, and he's on one side, he is observing the changes in his own life, because although we are very deeply fond of each other, we are best friends before, because he's a 4-6.
Uh-huh.
So that friendship is there, the love is there, but still that interaction between him and I, it became even more respectful. And he just gave that experiment a try, and it's working for him. So he is like, do you want to study more? I'm like, I would like to. And that's how I joined Rave ABC. And coincidentally, there are no coincidences. The Rave cartography, the third foundational class, it overlapped with the ABC last class. Let's switch from one to the other. And I also had, so this was one invitation which came through my husband, which felt really, my body was like, oh, literally my hair, my skin, and my eyes like start sparkling. Like, I never noticed it until so obviously until I entered my own experiment. Also, my mentor, I call her my mentor, and she's the one with whom I got my foundational reading, official foundational reading. She's also a teacher at IHDS, Ruth Brennan. I give her a lot of credit
Mm-hmm.
because even she invited me to pursue this. She's like, you would make a good analyst. And the next thing I know, I joined the analyst course. Instead of everybody in my class was like, we will join the guide course as soon as we finish the rave cartography. Because that's an obvious thing which usually people do. And I'm like, I'm leaning towards this more, towards the analyst, PTL1, to the extent that I've got mentally confused. And the mind likes to do all the stories. I have an active mind, like the ajna is there continuously going on and on and on. So I was a bit confused as to what am I trying to do over here. Really, do I want to be a professional? And again, my husband comes into the picture, and he's like, why don't you email the administrator and seek her guidance too? I was scared. The administrator, she's an amazing teacher too, Lynette, and she's a manifester.
Mm.
I don't know why, but earlier too, I mentioned that I don't know why. Now I know I'm shy. At the first time, like you meet me, you might feel that I'm a very bold person, but I'm shy. So I'm shy. I won't. My hand was like, I want to type something, and my mind is like, no, we will mess up. So my husband just takes my laptop and he types it up. Dear Lynette, I would like your guidance. There is this thing and there is that thing. What do you think I should do? And the reply she gave is that if you don't care about, like, social life and this and that. And it was really funny whatever she said, but it made such a beautiful impact because I could resonate with this person. This person is real. And I
Mm.
found out she was the one who's teaching the PTL one. And I was like, this would be exciting. Like, like a small kid. And I joined the PTL one.
Mm.
So, and then it went totally, like, the train just aligned on the track. Bush.
Yeah.
Once the PTL one started, even more. Like, there's no turning back. Because
Mm.
the first thing which she said in the class, when the class started, first class, she says this: you are here, yes, for your certification to become an analyst and for other people and this and that, you might be interested. But do this first for yourself, live this for yourself. And I live by that. It's like become a part of my laws. My framework needs me first to live it. I
Mm.
want to live it first. Anyways, I live in a projection field. I have no clue what I'm projecting out to you right now. And neither do I have a clue as to what you are expecting out of me. That double projection field. So the only thing I can do and rely on is live my own design, not from my my mind, whatever stories it cooks, but from that sense of, oh, this is good, this is healthy, yes, nice, whispers, he whispers.
Yeah.
That was a long story.
No, no, absolutely not. Not long enough.
No.
Um, so when you met human design, and it takes a little bit longer time for projectors to really align to their life. And
Mhm.
how was it for you? Did it take a long time, or because you're splenic, it hit right away? How did it go with the
So
experiment itself?
yeah, so what human design actually did for me, the experiment actually did for me, is it validated the path which I had started on in from like 2018. It just validated that path for me. I was always super alert. I knew that something was like a lot of things actually resonated. There were crises in my life which I was cutting bonds, letting go of things which did not feel healthy. And I was so many times asked and pressurized by people to shut down my willfulness, that go getter thing. I was, to the extent that I was also asked that, oh, you need to learn how to behave in situations because you are very emotionless, you are a very cold person, and all those kinds of things, as well as showing up, the concept of showing up as yourself, that authenticity thing which people say. But when those people meet me, they are like, oh, we did not think that you were this way. Like, you can see that expression on myself, like, ew, we don't like that. So a lot of things got validated. Me being super alert, okay, that's my splenic, inner authority, instinctual awareness. So my instincts are right. Okay. Most of the time, I used to not listen to my mental decision because I have always observed that those things hurt me the most. Trying to change myself and all that openness, all that nurturing. What I did start gaining is the wisdom potential that's there in those openness, those gates, those channels, those centers. What I am not. and mostly what happens to the other people when I meet them one on one, which I'm made for, right? You meet projectors in your aura, in your personal interaction, and you know how it feels when you haven't invited them and they suddenly come up and it's like, oh, who poked me? What do you want? Right? It's unsettling. And here I am, unsolicited. I used to be told that, oh, Sabina, we did not ask your unsolicited advice. Oh, you are so clingy. You know, that open G center and that hanging. I'm now going into technicality, but I was looking for loyalty, for friendship, you know, with that 37. Totally wrecked my willpower. So the first thing which happened for me was, okay, resonated with everything. Yes, I should be looking at other people. I am looking at other people, but in relation to what's happening with me. That is one thing which newcomer projectors should understand. When you're looking at the other people's chart, look at your chart too, but look at it from the very surface level of how your aura interacts, of how you get impacted and how they feel you. It's not easy. It's not at all easy for both the parties. So that helped a lot. Coming to terms with letting go of, the, but this was very much later into, I think so, this year. Coming to terms with my Saturn return cycle, which still continues, that I'm learning about that it's good to break bonds and it's healthy and I don't have to feel like a martyr, and not to take into my own head my own mental stories that because I am not pleasing that other person is now suffering because of me. It's like layers and layers and layers of things.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So yeah, a lot of changes. I am hermiting right now. Am I waiting for an invitation? Yes, invitations, but the correct ones. The correct ones like yours, where it was so funny, right? It was 12 a.m. in my side. I was sleeping. I opened my eyes. Oh, Veronica just invited me. Yes, and I go back to sleep. I think that it's a dream, and then in the morning I wake up. Oh, it's a real thing. I said yes to that. Like I was still feeling it again. The moment to moment thing, it never changed.
So
It
does it
was wonderful.
so does it feel weird when the spleen hits and you have no idea why it said yes or no? Is it weird for you? Do you try to look for answers or you now let
Uh,
it go?
I don't look for answers. Oh, I used to look for answers to answer other people. So sometimes my husband would be like, "Why did you change your mind of going from? You wanted to go there. Why did you change your mind?" Like, and this was before I understood my splenic authority, right? So I used to try to find reasons,
Mm-hmm.
but now I don't, and he also does not. He's like, "Oh, okay, okay. I trust your decision." And the next thing, when you're really observant of your life, you will observe the after effects of that splenic hit. There has been times where, I and my husband, we were planning to go to some place, and my splenic this was like, no, we still went, and something really bad happened to us. Like me and him, we both falling sick this time around with the flu and sore throat, and because we went to a place where we did not want to go earlier, and it was the splenic thing was like, no, no, and I'm like dragging my body inside that uh, place to get something to eat. So it's not that I'm purely, as the perfect splenic authority following person. I still it's an ongoing process, and it will be an ongoing process, but be giving myself that grace that, okay, I messed up, It happens. It's just a signpost for better listen to that body. The body did not want to go there. So now you suffer, you get, you recover from your illness and be more aware.
Mm.
Give in and surrender to that body alertness that you have.
And how does the splenic hit feel in the body? Where exactly in the body do you feel it, and how does it feel?
Oh, I can't even say that I feel it somewhere in my body. I can't even say that because it's just that either I would
Sensation
hear
or
something. Yeah, I would literally hear something
aha.
spooky, or my body moves.
Okay.
Okay, and or I have observed that when I'm, especially with a person uh, who is healthy for me, my skin feels good. Like my skin actually cleared up in time for our interview, and I'm like, oh.
Oh
I was
wow.
today morning I was like, Patrick, my husband, like, look at my skin. It's He's like, yeah, it's did you apply something? I'm like, no, I haven't brushed my teeth yet. He's like, oh, it's smooth. What's up with that? I'm like, yeah, good person, right? And he's like, yeah, good, definitely good person. It's funny. It's not always about crises. Yes, we are Neptune over there, but observing, I attend observation of life. It's so rich. It's so rich. You with your sacral energy, you responding, and you have observed, you have got way more experience in this experiment than me, and those observations which you have had, they are amazing, aren't they? When you used to share in class, I would be like, oh, because authenticity of is not something like a cloak that you wear. It is just acknowledging the true you, being aligned with yourself, and that's that. Surrendering to this, whatever this thing has, this vehicle has. It's all equipped. It's easy to for me to say, but it's just because of the information I've consumed and the dedicated I'm committed to my life, that I want to live. I cannot wallow in my mistakes, my missteps, in my uh, things which did not work out for me, things which I could not do, would not do, and all of those mind stories. No self hatred has place, because this body, one time use, and it's so precious. It's not free, it's so precious.
Mm.
That's willpower speaking. I know the value of this thing.
It's impressive when you talk. You're so um expressionate with your face. I really can see the five body behind seducing, No, but it's true. It's true. I really enjoy watching your face and how your facial expressions change, and I really can see the seduction there. Nice. I like that. Um, um, so the splenic hit, okay, and you mentioned that uh, people around you didn't really appreciate your willpower and your willfulness, and something really impressed me was in earlier conversation we had, um, when I asked you, what are you doing? And you were like, I'm healing my ego. And I'm like, whoa, it's the first person with a defined ego who I meet, and they are aware that apparently their ego was broken, and they're trying to heal it. That's amazing. Can you tell me something more about that? And how was it before
Um,
you knew about human design? What happened afterwards?
so this is sort of like it was supposed. Uh, so I also joined the BG5 Foundation. Okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
invited. So I joined it, and one of the things which in BG5 was very emphasized in that foundation. Now this teacher, she is a reflector.
Hmm.
So this reflectors are amazing, like especially these awakened, authentic, and she's also a cross of consciousness, and they also have an impact like manifestors do, but it is totally about like whether you're resonating or not. We know that, you know, that frequency. And what really hit me hard was, what are you broadcasting? We talk so much about our openness. We talk so much about our conditioning, where we are conditioned. We are even conditioned in our definition, in what we you know have defined our centers, and that is where we malfunction. That's why we have those things, unhealthy defined centers, you know. And I realized there is this whole realm of things, since I was already exploring when we were doing our workshop, um, that okay, so what's happening in my aura when I meet someone else? What's happening? I know what I'm taking in. What am I giving back in this interaction? What is it that the other person is feeling? Am I being pushy? Am I, all of those things? On the top of my head, that is the first thing which came up, because all this motivational, wholehearted, be this, like go for it, and all of those things. But what am I putting out which the other is receiving? And I realized that I actually resonate so much with the undefined ego center people that does not know her own value. And that hit me hard, this realization and understanding. And it takes more time, if I want to use the word healing or deconditioning my defined center, it takes more time. I've got health issues, autoimmune disease. I'm not supposed to have that with my defined spleen, especially with the 4426. I'm not supposed to have it. Why do I have it? Because the definition is messed up. How am I going to fulfill my own life purpose if I am not, if, going back to that example of that train on the tracks, if that train is not properly maintained, it needs maintenance so it can move forward. Just like we um, do body works, like exercising or eating healthy, it's also what is there inside. On a funnier note, have you pooped today? Why are you so constipated? What is the wrong thing which you put in your body? So it's a very much like that. And this whole dysfunctional ego center, not that I was being egotistical, but what the other person is receiving, and taking me on a very bad ride, taking me off for granted. I have had ego defined projector inviting me to something to photograph, and I paid her instead of I getting paid, all with the mental stories that, oh, I need to have, I need to do things for free to show my value and to prove myself. And didn't I have uh, experience of photographing? I have been doing that since 2008, 2007, 2008. And here in 2019, I'm doing this. Is it her fault? No. Is it my fault? Yes. Accepting that mistake. So basically, when people met me, they were like, oh, poor you, charity case. So, and the flip thing which happened with this, how we say the embodiment of your definition. The flip thing which happened is people don't like me now, these people, because they no longer can see a person who is in their projection helpless, or at the same time someone who is, what would I say, I can't get the word, but anyways, it's like they cannot leech off of me for free anymore, because I'm no longer looking for that friendship, for that family. I cannot. That's harmful for me. I'm made to connect and disconnect. I can't have you as my friend forever. I need to release you and let you go on your own path. That is valuable for me. I'm like this someone who's standing at the ocean shore where the waves come and go. I cannot hold on to that wave and sit with that. And that is what that, the emotional solar plexus thing does, right? Especially that 37 of mine. My moon is in 40. Personality moon. So I had to deny myself at the most foundation level, that it is okay to be alone. You are not going to be lonely when you're alone. And that started my this whole thing of, yeah, it's okay that willpower looks big to those who cannot handle it, and it's not supposed to be handled. It's for me so that I can give. Not everybody has that. People have it flexible. You have it flexible, and it is through your response that you can understand, right, where you can give and where you can commit or not. For me, it is a consistent thing. So when I rely on that, I know which direction it's going to take me, which is valuable for me or not. If I'm here today, I realize now it's for, as you mentioned earlier, the purpose, what you wanted to share, right? To support. I'm here to wholeheartedly, with my heart, with my willpower, and my healthy sense of well-being, support you in your purpose of defying all of these false information of human design which is there, by showing real people who may or may not be in the school educating, but they are living their designs. I hope I'm right about that. But that's how that's my perspective. Oh, you're muted.
You're so fast. You're so fast. I just said one word. But what you just shared, this is so important. This is super important, because when people come into human design and they hear about their open centers, and the not self can be also in the defined centers, guys. This is so important what Sabina said, because we have, like, in the open centers, we still have those centers. It's just that the energy is not consistent, but we have them. And it's the same with our consistent centers. It doesn't mean if we have it defined that we're not going to have the not self strategies there. So this is so important. What came up here as a topic, but this is amazing. Thank you so much for bringing this up, about the defined not self, that I don't know if it really takes longer time to decondition. also let's not forget that we are constantly being conditioned. So there is
Hey,
no end.
everybody right now has the are experiencing, maybe in a consistent or an inconsistent way, the 44-26, right? Everybody are experiencing that maybe we need to surrender or not surrender to whatever transmission is happening right now, whatever we are talking about.
Yeah, actually, it's the interesting coincidence today. Of course, if we believe in coincidences or not, but indeed, we have the 44-26, and also you're born exactly 1 month from now, 13th of
Yeah.
January. So I like those, you know,
Yeah. It's how the you know, whatever trajectory we are going on, we are here together, riding,
yeah. Okay, so
journeying together.
I want to ask you more about the projector type, since you're a projector. Um, can you explain a little bit to people who are watching us right now about we know that the projector needs to be recognized for their gifts and invited before they can interact, or but how do you experience the invitations, and do you wait for them, or is it an active waiting, is it a passive waiting, and how is the whole process, how does it go with you, and what would you um like advise other projectors or people who have projectors in their life?
Ah, that's a nice question, of course. So understanding on the very basic level of what a projector is, it's all about that aura. It's all about your aura. It's one-on-one. Please understand that. And if a person is in a group, part of the group versus being there guiding that group, you have, for example, I was quote unquote felt an invitation. I paid and I went into a group. Wonderful, wonderful group. Like I absolutely adore the manifesting generator who holds that. She's also a 5-1. She's amazing. She's doing her things. Um, but I found with my own observation, I'm observing my life, that I don't belong inside a group as part of the group because I'm completely lost. And the only reason I understand that, the only reason I recognize that is because I know my design. Open identity center, right? We don't have those powerful motors in me. And here, when you are in a group, the group dynamics are totally different. A family practitioner or BG5 consultant will give you more information about those things. But understand this: if you are made one-on-one, like I'm made one-on-one, I'm made to, maybe I can come lead a group with support from someone, but being part of the group is going to be very, very disorienting. You will feel hunger for, oh, I don't have the energy, but I want to be, look at me. Is not limited to having an undefined or an open throat. That projectors are first. Look at me. I have got something to say. So my experience was, I'm sitting there and my mind is like, oh, we can say something about that. We can say something about it. And everybody's so I just went into a story without giving a heads up. So I'm talking about an experience I had earlier, just after I got my certification. Now I will get I'm going to get really, bad burns from the community after, if they watch this, because misunderstanding is the first thing which the mind likes to feed on. So it's no one's fault. It is how the mechanics work. That's my disclaimer. So I'm here sitting in the group. My friend, she is very well organized. She's got everyone part by part, turn by turn, doing an introduction and some stuff, talking with some stuff. And my mind is going, we can talk about that. I understand that problem. I can see it. All this human design knowledge and everything is popping up. But I'm sitting here quiet. Being a projector and sitting quietly is a problem, but please sit quietly. It's a waste of energy if I open my mouth. So it's a waste of energy for any projector to speak out of turn. Continuing with the story, my turn comes. And my spleen is like all over my body. I croak something out. But my mind pushes in that, oh, I've just certified living your design guide. And I say human design. Now I'm not with maybe correct people. And I just stop talking anything else and I just pass on the baton. Let someone else take the turn. Because I'm feeling something is wrong with me. I'm feeling uncomfortable and disoriented. A few minutes later, everybody is talking about human design, but no one is even acknowledging or recognizing that she just mentioned that she certified living your design guide. She also mentioned that she is living her design or something like that. No, that is all about the fake information and false information on the social media, which they have been coming across, and now they are human design experts. To the extent that someone comes up to me and says, oh, I heard you say something about human design. That person, she was pointing to my friend, is a human design expert. And I'm like, so I had to wait because we have just one car, and I was waiting for my husband to pick me up. But I was like, this is the last time I ever experimented with being in a group, because I'm just hurting myself. Is it their fault? No. They are addicted to being in a group, because that is what the cross of planning is fading away, and people are trying to hang on to that community and all of those things. Although I am a person of the cross of Maya, but I can see this whole thing crashing burn, and here I am from my mental this. I'm hurting myself. And this was just this year in April. Just this year. Why do you keep slapping yourself? So projector, don't slap yourself. You don't need anyone else to slap you. We slap ourselves. Don't go into places just from that mindset that, oh, you will get recognized because you want to be with your friends. If your friend really wants you to be with them, they will invite you and you both will go and have a cup of coffee, not buy a ticket. Nothing against these people. They are doing their life purpose or whatever it is, but not my trajectory. So knowing that when you start living your design, that you will have to cut yourself away from what is not correct for you, what is sucking your energy. It's not just that sacral energy which gets over explosive in me. It's also the emotional thing, because I have observed it takes me around like 2 to 3 weeks. I'm emotionally unstable after being in a group, after being with people who are not correct for me. Totally emotionally unstable. And I used to think that, am I crazy? I'm making that statement, mountains out of a molehill. So recognize your own self first. Be ready to be alone. That is what in my books is active waiting. And that invitation, only when you're correct will you start seeing that. But it takes time. So patience, everything is patience. Yes, if you have a baby who's a projector and you have been raising the baby correct, they will get the invitation. And it can be anyways. They might either be called out. If they're transpersonals, they might either receive the calls, they might get the opportunities. So many ways. They might bump into things. So many ways. So it's not about what invitation, when will I get it? It's about, oh, Fuck, I really need to care about myself. This person needs me first. I better be a projector. I'm very precious. Does not matter if I have a defined willpower center or not. I'm very precious. Just because I'm not doing something, just because I might miss out on not being someone, on being someone, sorry. Just because I might miss out on something does not define me. I am this person who has this very penetrating aura which can guide someone who is correct and who really, really appreciates that guidance and will ask me. And their life will improve, my life will be gratified. And that gratification is what success feels like. I feel successful not being in contact with so many people in my life. I'm very grateful to them, really grateful. But understanding how my aura works at the very basic level is so important. Another quick story is I met a friend of mine. These are all acquaintances. A friend of mine, for the first time, one-on-one. Okay, because usually when she would come, either she would be with her kid or I would be with my husband. So it was always a penta. So she is not meeting the real me. She met me for the first time and she could not take it, and I could not take her. Like, we had our polite faces on, we said our goodbyes, and we haven't talked to each other. We have our peaceful distance, and that's that. So understanding that correct connection, because we connect, we don't envelop. We are oddities. What can we do? No choice. Respect yourself. I have to respect myself. I hope that gives some insight into like what you asked.
This is so precious, what you're sharing, because, and especially, I want to repeat that we don't envelop, we connect, because this is what projector is about. Guys, this is what projector is about. They need an opening and recognition so they can connect, so they can hook into you. And guide.
So, some time ago you mentioned about the power problems. So imagine that you have this circuitry, and if you're putting an American plug into an European outlet without even taking into consideration that the power supply thing might not match, you're going to have a short circuit. And there is no blame. Means I might say, oh, it was my mistake, my fault, but I cannot blame myself. I was experimenting. That's my excuse. But you keep moving forward. The now matters. Since we are moving into a place soon, it's already growing, that the now, survival in the now matters. So how are you being? How are you connecting? How are you enveloping? How are you impacting or reflecting in the now?
And we can really learn that from our splenic people, can't we?
Yeah.
Because people live a lot in the past, especially me with my mind. I can do that.
Me too.
Or projecting in the future, and at the end you find out what about my life now. Moment by moment by moment. So
Yeah.
precious.
Yeah.
And
Being present and observing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and those observations actually can really open up new doors and new awareness, which makes life so much more interesting and um really to see what's going on, and it's so amazing.
Yeah.
I want to ask you uh about the invitation. So when the invitation is withdrawn, it's not there anymore. Because you mentioned the clinginess, and I think this is an important topic about projectors because it's so difficult for them to let go of people sometimes. And
Yeah, and does not even matter if there's a splenic or not.
yeah, can you say
You
something
know?
more about that? Because I think that the number one reason projectors don't get recognized is because of that clinginess, and people just push them, and
Yeah.
they
So I can show you. I
yeah.
can show you from my body graph. So just put my body graph up. Like let's not uh, let's not have the details over there. So can we do that? Like
Yeah,
just have, yeah, like not have the information, just the body graph.
yes, let me see how to do it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes. Yes. So this becomes like much more clean and like people are no longer distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll give an example from my own chart. So we all can see that, okay, she's a splenic, split definition projector person, and
I will
what
make you a
happens?
co-host. Sorry to interrupt you. I'll make you a co-host so you can if you want you can annotate. Just a second. Okay.
Okay, so let me see where the pen thing is. Not whiteboard. So, anyways, can you see my this? Oh, you know what? Let's. It's okay with that. Just look at, why don't you and you do the
Sure.
marking and all, okay? So just look
Okay.
at the sacral center, look at the power which I have, look at the number of gates which are pointing outside from dormant gates, right? They're there, but there is no consistent thing in there. So it's so easy for me as an unaware projector to be made into a slave. I will say yes with that 29. I will give away resources which I have with the 14, all my power skills, if I have any. I'm ready, I will do it for you. I will give away my 34, my personal power, or by empowering anyone around me. Like, yes, please take it. I will be there to end whatever someone else has started with the 42. That's even my body grounding. So imagine the toll it takes on my body. My Venus is there in the 9. So I'm over there. I will help you focus. I'll be there for you. Right? And then all that other things which are pointing towards it. I with the 27, it's not there, but the 50 is there. I will nurture you. I will take care of you. I'll take all your responsibilities. With that 3, oh, I will help you through your limitations. I understand. Can I just pay for you? I'll pay for that lunch. It does not matter if I don't have money for my own self. I have been there, done that, and this is where that clinginess comes in, because there is this hunger for that energy to be, there is this potential to be used. That understanding that open sacral with all of those gates, all of those, that potential is there to guide. It's not there to do something for someone. So It's very easy for me to be addicted, which I used to be, with all of that potential energy, because it would give me a sense of, let's look at that 37, the 40, pointing at that open solar plexus right there, sense of friendship. So anybody can bribe me with, I will be your friend, Sabina. Can you hold a farewell party for me? Can you do this? Oh, by the way, you're going in the correct direction with that open G center. So easy. Why? Because I don't have a consistent sense of myself over there. All of these, and this is just some of the example of that openness, right? So as a projector, I'm hungry for that energy, for that acknowledgement. And this is where all I give away, just so that I can feel like I'm not an odd one out. Please, I'm so cute. Look at me. I can be someone. Yeah. I will feel whole and manifest if you just give me, if you just be my friend. And for you to be my friend, I will feel that I am loved. And then I get taken for a ride. So looking at your design as a projector, getting a really good foundational analysis from a certified analyst. We show you, because we know it ourselves, that, hey, as a projector, that relationship, even though the spleen is defined, you're just clinging to it because you want to have a sense of belongingness, of loyalty, of feeling whole. That is what I would tell this person. It used to be hard for me to look at my own self. Our mind, we are taught not to look at ourselves, but to hide ourselves. Fake it till you make it. But here I am looking at my own chart, own design, and saying this to this person, to myself. Please don't be so clingy. Please don't be so hungry for energies which is not correct for you. You will be taken for granted. You will feel happy. They will show you something which looks like quote unquote success, but it's not successful. You are just ruining this life which you are. You will be tired, exhausted, burnt out, bitter, grudgy. Those horror movies, like that. And lots of people, lots of projectors, they always say, oh, I don't feel bitterness. uh, that saying, truth is bitter.
Sorry, which thing?
Truth is bitter. We don't say truth is frustrating, or truth is angry, or truth is disappointing. We say truth is bitter.
Yeah.
Right? So understanding that hunger for that attention and that energy is what causes the clinginess. So treat yourself special, not let it go to your head that, oh, I'm a projector, so you better give me an invitation. No, no, no. That connection. If my friend, whom I mentioned earlier, her group, if she invites me to something which I feel is really valuable, maybe she invites me to co-host, to talk about my own human design experience, like how we are talking right now. Would I say no to her? I don't know. Maybe in that moment I might say yes. But it will depend on my splenic hit. It will depend on how I was approached. So first, it's like bringing yourself back to yourself. It's a mental concept, because we like our mind, mind likes to rule our life. What can I say? Right? It's so uncomfortable to say, all those gurus, they're so amazing. They say that detach from this body so that you can transcend. Well, you are in this body. Why? If you want to transcend, you just have to stop living. Right?
Yeah.
And that too, then you don't know whether you will get your barzo stages, whether you will get picked up by your uh, crystal bundle or not. But conserve yourself, bring yourself back. Your energy is precious, and that it has a very specific purpose. You might not understand your purpose right now, but first, be a good projector. Don't try to attract attention by being like, like a puppy. They're going, wow, wow, look at me. Conserve that energy. If someone messes up and they never asked for my advice, no blame. You never asked for it. Neither on yourself. Oh, they did not ask for it, I should have given. No, 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 no. It's their life trajectory. Everybody has their own very unique experiences. So why waste your energy? This is a very radical concept which human design brings in, because you're looking out for yourself first. Yes, I'm here as a projector to guide others, but what about me? And what about me cannot be being clingy, being attention seeking, being in front of thousands of people just so I will feel successful. That's not fulfilling. It is different. It is unique to each one. I'm a 2-5. I am in my own, hermity, behind the scenes place. I'm somewhere in a room. I'm not out there pushing into people my aura and asking them. I will be, even if I'm out there, I did better sit quiet. And my aura will do the talking. You have so many experiences. I remember you mentioning how you miss those in-person live classes. Like, yes, they're wonderful, right? But when that projector comes in and starts just speaking to you, hey, Veronica, yay, 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 yada, yada, yada. And you're like totally confused as to uh, what are you talking about? Are we speaking? So respect yourself and respect the other person. If there is no invitation, like I respect that friend of mine, and but I respect myself too. I am not going to approach that friend to poke into, she is a sacral person, to poke into that open aura and figure out, oh, why aren't we talking? No, 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 nothing like that. Just respect. It's all about basic respect and patience.
Human design does bring back the respect, starting with ourselves and accepting first ourselves and then the other. And there where the respect comes from. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. You mentioned the 2-5 profile, and since it is a harmonic profile on one hand, but also it's one of the rare profiles. And it has something interesting. The 5th line is in the body. Can you share? Do you have some example of?
I have the best example. Like I have been wanting to share this, but okay. See, this is the correct invitation. People, right now, this is an invitation to share. Okay, so here's goes. Do you know the Bollywood actor Shah Rukh Khan?
No.
No. But if you research, he is one of the highest paid legendary actor. Okay. Shah Rukh Khan. He is a 2-5. And when you observe all those interviews as well as videos of him, you don't see his personal life, but you see what you see, you are projecting onto him as, oh, he is so seductive. He is so awesome. All that guy does is just do this one romantic pose where he spreads out his hand. And that's amazing. That's enough. And it's fabulous. Quite a humble guy. But if he does his hard work, but what goes on in his personal life, he keeps it to himself. He's a hermit. In some of his interviews, he has even mentioned that I don't like people see me eat. That is why I eat at home, homemade food, and then I go out to parties, which I feel is correct for me or not. I don't understand why I do that. But it's a 2-5 thing. He knows that he is in this projection field. This guy, he has his big house on in Mumbai, and he has a terrace, and that terrace has this netting, but he goes there regularly, and all his fans are surrounded over there, but he shows up, he waves, he treats them with respect. Even showing up like that is a big deal, and then he goes back inside. And that is what a 2-5 is. You show up when it is correct, but you don't put your personal life out, or you will be burned, because people's expectations are so heavy, it will crush us. The expectations on me, I don't want anybody anymore to come to my home, you know unless and until that person is really correct. I don't want them to come to my home. Why? Because of the projections, aka the expectations they have, the image that they have built about me in their mind. I don't know what I projected out to them. We talked earlier, and you asked me, so you're a photographer, and I was a bit hesitant when I was typing my reply, because what do I identify myself with? I'm a visual artist. Okay, that is a broader spectrum, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just that one word, if I say, oh, I'm a photographer, it's a projection. Am I living up to that projection is a heavy burden. And it takes a physical toll, because it's on the body. It's seductive. Oh, it's delicious. Oh, she's so beautiful. Oh, she's so ugly. Not how I see myself, but I'm unconscious about what the expectations are. And even if someone says it, I really want it to be like in a, what's the word which I've been using? In a very a framework sort of structured way. Although I'm a chord right, but that structuring helps me keep myself discerning
Mm-hmm.
and safe. It's all about safety for me. For 2-4 people, I envy them at times, and the 3-5, I envy them at times, because 3-5s, bumpity bumpity bump, they go and bump into expectation and they adapt to it, right? Like some of our wonderful teachers are those 2-4s. Like they get opportunities, they don't have those expectations on them. Okay, they are just projecting out something and people are giving them opportunities, but I'm here stuck in between. Harmonic profile, the best harmony is what? I'm still trying to find that. But being with my own self and surrendering to my own body, that is the best harmony I can achieve at this stage, and continue on that. I don't know tomorrow or the next moment what.
Beautiful.
So
My next question was gonna be, how do you deal with the projections? But I think you kind of answered that.
uh-huh.
Well, is there something that you want to ask me or that you want to
Oh
say?
yeah, of course. I want to ask you. Means for a seductive body to the seductive personality. So how about you? Means you are conscious about the projections. So tell me something about how you have been navigating. Oh, and I also remember the other question, which I would like to add in this one question itself would be, you mentioned that your Uranus opposition has a 2-5, and I think so it's coming next year.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts, opinions about that too?
Okay. About the projections, yes, I know they're there. I know that people expect things from me, and sometimes I know it before they know it. I know what they want before they know what they want from me. And after I met human design, this was such a relief because I always felt those things, but I never could explain. And I never knew how seductive I was actually. I was totally oblivious. And yeah, I can give you an example like when I was in school and certain people liked me, wanted to be friends with me, but they never approached me. And then years later, I find out about those things, and I was like, really? Really? You liked me? But why didn't you tell me anything? You wanted to be with me? But what? Why don't you tell me? So it's, I was completely oblivious, but the more I observe, the more I see how it happens. The most interesting thing is that the projection doesn't happen immediately. I know that this is what it said, that the moment the 5-1 gets into your aura, it brings down your defense system so you can start projecting on that screen. But it takes time for the projection field to form. It takes time. I know, it's so funny because you go there and you observe. That's what 5-1s do all their lives. They observe everybody. And so indeed, human design in this respect, what you mentioned earlier, as a projector, yeah, the other is the interest. With me as a 5-1, also the other is the interest. But knowing yourself and bringing back the focus to yourself, oh my God, this was so precious to finally start loving this self that you didn't allow yourself to love. And you hated it, actually. So I meet somebody and it takes time for the projection field. It takes time until they are totally seduced. And once they are, I know. It feels like it's magic. It feels like magic because it's like I gave them some magic tea and I only have to wait for some time until it takes effect. And then but it's not a manipulative thing. It can be. It
It
can
can
be.
be. You can use everything to manipulate. That is the thing about human design.
Yeah, of course it can be, but you don't do it on purpose. And what I find the most helpful how to deal with those projections is indeed to ask what people expect from you, so that you are sure that this is, so that what you felt they expected corresponds, and whether you can fulfill this expectation. And also something really, really which helped me personally. I cannot say that I don't do that anymore, but 5-1s also have huge expectations and they project so much onto other people.
Yeah.
This was, it was like I really grasped that not so long ago, actually. I mean, grasped it not mentally, but in my body, that it's painful because I have so much expectation to the other. As a 5-1, and maybe not only as a 5-1, I have other things in my dream rave and so on, which
The
push me
wide
to that.
split, not to forget that wide split.
Yeah,
right?
no, but I meant something else. That I'm a very idealistic person. Really, thanks God I met human design, because before that I always put everybody else in front of me. I wanted to be so helpful. I wanted to save everybody. And it was so painful because people don't want to be saved, or they do, but you cannot save them the way they want to be saved, or whatever. So this is one of the most precious things indeed about human design. The first thing that really impressed me was there is no moral.
Best thing ever.
Yeah, and maybe as a 5-1, this impressed me, because you don't want to know what I did in my life,
Oh yeah.
But it's all coming from trying to save the world from themselves,
Oh yes.
from all this idealism and blah blah blah. It's such a idiotic movie, to be honest, trying to save everybody and
Yeah.
put
And I just realized something that we say that I always found it funny. Open or undefined throat, and you want to be a star, but it's not that you want to be Lady Gaga. Of course, she has an undefined this. That wanting that attention is not that kind of an attention always. It's also about how can I be there for you? Like as you mentioned, I was trying to save the world. I was just trying to live up to their expectations, which wanting to help them. That is such a big example of an undefined throat too. I can manifest for you. Let me help you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my answer about the projection field. It's as much as you are projected on, you project also on the others. As much as you're expected, you also expect, and that can be really painful. So you have to let go of your expectations to people, or let them know that this is what
let them know.
Yeah. So
see, writing. I'm again going to interject that because one point I forgot to mention about the 2-5, the 5 body, like writing on that that saying, letting people know about this is my expectations, or all of those things, or where you're coming from, or who you are, how you should be treated as a line 5 body. You cannot make out whether I am sick or not. I've so I was in my PTL 3, and I just completed that. I'm so happy about it. I was one of the first. I was in the first group of people who did their the assignment in class. The presentation, and I was sick. When you rewatch if you rewatch the video ever, you cannot make out I was sick. You cannot make out from this person, this face when you meet. So when you go into that line 5 on the unconscious side, in the body side, it's always recommended, like even when you go to a doctor, you better get a really, really, uh, detailed checkup, because you might be sick, but people will be like, you sick? You don't look sick. Or even if you're not sick, they will say, oh, you look so sick. Is something upsetting you? And you're just sitting with it. My body is just quiet. So that physical thing. So that is why I was like, so I'm so curious about your Uranus opposition, because it's all in harmony and resonance, but it goes on the body side and taking care of that precious body of yours, right?
Yeah. So this is very interesting question you ask me, because in my Saturn opposition, I became a 3-6. So first, let's say, as a left angle profile, and especially as a 5-1, you're here to meet your allies, because without your allies, you cannot really succeed in your purpose and to have your life purpose unfold. So especially when I went into a right angle profile, the 3-6 profile, for the past 20 years or something, or 10, 15 years, you really see that I should have met my allies before the age of 30. And the good thing is I did meet allies, real allies, and they stayed with me. I honestly don't know what I would be doing without them. But I'm really waiting with surprise and expectation to get the 2-5. It's still a right angle profile, but there is this 5 behind. So There is a chance I'll meet more. There'll be at least more people I meet.
Mm-hmm.
So
More
yeah,
allies, right? More
yeah,
people you can be in harmony with,
yeah.
and who actually need that. It's such a mental game, like, with the false informations, about, like, you do your affirmations as a manifesting generator. It's so funny. My friends, they keep on posting on their Instagram stories. If they know that I'm looking at it, and I'll just go, okay, don't don't expect me to. And Instagram algorithms, like, they try to show me those things, and I just go, block. I don't want to see this. Just show me those cat videos and the huskies, the dogs. That's all entertainment. But it's so amazing, like, even with our cycle crosses, cycle profiles, like, if we don't receive a proper, like, you are a certified analyst, like, you do all these cycle readings, like, complete details with all the nuances. And if someone does not understand what the heck is happening, and if they can, this is an invitation to projectors, this is an ask to generators and manifestors. If you feel it's correct, you know get that cycle reading from Veronica. For me, you will have to wait for another 5 months maybe. But getting those cycle readings and understanding that we are not the profile, just one of those layers, one of those tiny layers of that cycle which is happening. But we are here to learn during that cycle process, that, yeah, means even for my Saturn return is 3-6, learning to break those bonds. It's okay not having those allies. It's okay. Maybe because it's time that you are aligning into your more true authentic self. We love to use that word, right? Authentic, always. Means get that reading, get that proper foundational reading from a certified analyst. They will give you all the depths of it, the nuances of it. Maybe go into the living your design workshops with Veronica, or with some of the teachers who are qualified guides, and understand that it's not an affirmation, it's not a mantra, it's not manifesting generator, or let's do just generator, because you're a generator, right? A sacral generator, the mantra for 2023: I will do only what I love to do, and I will be motivated to do it because I love myself.
Mm.
How about that? The new year is the calendar new year versus the new year, right? We just start off with that, and then, but yeah, mental feed. There's lots of false enthusiasm, fake information, but it's everybody's life process.
Yeah.
Up to them. Yeah, I think so. That would be my final say.
Yeah.
Whatever floats your boat.
No, actually, I wanted to. It was funny because you started talking about people getting a reading from me, but actually, I was just about to present you because Sabina is actually finished her studies. She only needs to submit her final exam. And guys, if you resonate to what you saw and what you heard, especially if you're a projector, I think that Sabina can be your guide. And she's absolutely a fantastic, really understands deep the mechanics. And I wholeheartedly recommend her. So if you want, you can give your details, but afterwards I'm going to publish them also in the YouTube. Under the video, your details and how you can be contacted. And any other final words?
Oh, and whoever wants to contact me has to wait for some time, because right now I am so into my own space of getting my education and living my own design. Like, hey, living and being, you know, being. That's one of the things which I love since of human design. But yeah, I will share my Instagram, Human Design Rising, like just like you have your human design journey over here. My website is under development. So whoever is our fractal, if you resonate, contact us, right? And live your life, live your own life first before saving the whales, before saving the porcupines, and before saving the scorpions.
Yeah, it became one seductive conversation here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Like
Thank
really, my
you.
wholehearted gratitude for you.
And thank you for accepting my invite and sharing yourself with my audience.
Being brave on camera. Thank you for pulling through me what maybe needed to be transmitted out from my own experiences and my own perspectives of life as I live it and I observe it. So thank you for that.
I think it will be a very useful video for people to watch. So we would be glad if you comment in the comments below, like and subscribe. This was Veronica from Human Design Journey and Sabina Abreo from Human Design Rising. Talk to you soon.